I turned 33 this week, and this is definitely not what I thought my life would look like. Starting over in my 30s has been challenging, but I also really wouldn't change it for the world because I feel like I was able to grow so much in my 20s, and I learned a lot of really difficult, challenging, hard lessons. I went to so much therapy. My therapist legitimately told me, she's like, you've got to stop reading the books. You basically have your PhD in psychology at this point. Go live your life. So my 30s are all about living my life, enjoying it. And today I wanted to share, in honor of my 33rd birthday, 33 lessons that I've learned in 33 years. So I'm just gonna have some fun with this video. If this is your first time here, my name is Chloe. I'm an interior designer. I split my time between the States and Europe. I host guided retreats all throughout Europe, Italy, the UK. I source a lot of our materials from artisans for the Mercantile, which is the e-commerce shop that I own, as well as for our projects, our interior design projects, which really span throughout the United States, but then also into Europe. Now that I'm saying all of that out loud, it is remarkable, and I am really proud of what I've built alongside Lori, who's filming right now. Lori and I started with the Etsy shop way back in the day. I had egg stamps and sewed pillows, and over the past about 10 years, we have grown it into 3 separate businesses. So I can now say I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a small business owner, and I am genuinely really proud. So if you're watching this, I hope to inspire you, whether you're older or younger than me. I'm at my friend Sarah's house right now, which is in Sonoma. If you're not familiar with Chateau Sonoma, it's beautiful. And I'm house sitting for her. She's in France. And I'm sitting out in her garden, reflecting on life. I'm gonna go out into the garden, grab some herbs, we'll make a little cocktail together. And I'm just gonna talk about 33 of the lessons I've learned so far. And who knows, at 66, how many more lessons am I gonna have to learn? The first lesson is, if not you, then who? And I carry this with me whenever I face self-doubt. I heard it from Luann Nigera. She runs the podcast A Well-Designed Business for interior designers. Her mom used to tell her this: if not you, somebody's probably going to do it. And if it's on your heart, if you have a dream, you should go for it. If somebody else can do it, so can you. And this is honestly the mantra that pushes me through so much of my self-doubt. The next lesson I've learned is that done is truly better than perfect. The first self-help book I ever read was The Gifts of Imperfection, and I still struggle with it, but done is better than perfect. And really, you should start before you're ready, because clarity, I've found, comes from action, not sitting there planning. I'm the queen of plan, 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 think about action, plan, 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 but clarity and anxiety totally goes away when you just take action on your dreams. The next lesson is really, I think, making people feel before you sell. I thought about this when I started Boxwood Avenue. I always knew I needed to build a brand before I could sell anything. So really think about the story that you're telling. I really do believe that your story is your brand. There's something that's unique about you. Capitalize on that, and you can turn it into your brand and really create the life of your dreams. The next lesson is a little bit more simple, and that is always keep a bottle of champagne in the fridge. I live by this one. And just like keeping a bottle of champagne in the fridge, use the linen napkins on a Tuesday. Life is meant to be lived. If you know anything about my story, you know that I've discovered that success without peace in your heart is really no success at all. Which leads me into, you know in your heart, in your soul, in your gut, if something is wrong. I think I spent so many years battling what I really knew deep in my heart, trying to get myself to feel something differently, trying to fix myself when ultimately I knew deep down. I think this goes for business too. You know if something's off, you know what you need to do to take yourself to the next level. I think it's so important to get really still and really quiet and write down and journal, what do you know that you are pretending not to know? And what you write down on that paper, I think, will surprise you, but then you have to be brave enough to take the action on it. Another lesson that I learned, I would say probably in the past year, is the harder thing is usually the right thing. I've learned to really lean into fear and use fear as what guides me. And I know that might sound crazy, but if I really tap into what I'm most afraid of, It's of the things that I'm just like, there's no way I could do that. There's no way that could be me. Those are the things that I know if I did, it would really help get me to where I want to go. So if you can lean into fear and do the harder thing, it's usually the right thing, and it's usually the thing that's going to take you to the next level. Fresh flowers are never a waste of money, and you really don't owe anybody a version of you that they remember. When I moved up to the ranch, I was just out of college and I hadn't grown very much. And the person that I am today, I remember my therapist told me this once. She's like, I hope that by next year you look back and you don't even recognize who you were. And I really thought she was kind of crazy at the time. I didn't think that that was going to be true. And it really has proven true. I look back a year, 2 years ago, and I do not feel like I'm the same person. You're constantly growing, you're constantly evolving. Growing things change and changing things grow. And I think that it's a beautiful thing if there's a different version of you, and you don't owe anybody the version of you that they remember. You can always reinvent yourself. You can always do something new. You were just one big change away from a completely new life. Boundaries will set you free. I know they're hard to implement. They're a little bit scary to implement because sometimes it maybe feels like you're being mean. Read the book Boundaries. It's really good. Don't confuse comfort for happiness. I think it's very easy to live a comfortable life, an okay life, but it's scary as hell to live the life that's in your heart. So don't confuse that comfort for happiness. I think happiness comes from, like I said, doing the scary thing. Don't build your life around external validation. This is actually kind of a new one for me that I've been working on over the past year. And I really started to think about how much external validation I receive from building boxwood or building things and releasing myself from that. When I first started reading about this and journaling about this, I was a little bit in denial. I was like, there's no way that this is true. And now that I recognize it, I'm able to let some of that go. And it is so freeing. So don't build your life around external validation, because the only person that really matters is what you think of yourself. Time is one of the things that we will never get back, and it is sacred. So protect your time. This goes hand in hand with setting boundaries, but it's precious and you get to decide what you prioritize. It doesn't have to be what everybody else thinks it should be. I've learned over the past year that home isn't a place, it's within yourself. I think that at this point I could live pretty much anywhere, although of course I value aesthetics and there are certain places I want to live, but I've really found home within myself, and that took letting go of everything that I thought I needed, putting everything in a storage unit, and literally just basically having the clothes on my back for nearly a year to solidify into within myself, to feel at home wherever I go and to feel at peace wherever I go, and really learned that that sense of home is a feeling within myself. I wish I would have known this when I was younger, but learning about my core values and living my life in alignment with those values. And for me, that's play and fun and silliness. And I always thought that that was sort of bad, like I needed to be working harder, but those are actually just things I really value, and allowing myself to have the freedom to live the way I want to live has been so freeing. You really do become who you surround yourself with, so look at the 5 people closest to you. You're going to become the 6th. I feel so grateful when I think about all of my friends, they're really inspiring female small business owners. And I love that because it inspires me to do better and to become greater and to share more of my light. I really believe that by sharing your light, you just make everything shine brighter. So surround yourself with people who inspire you. And if you are thinking about how you can do that, go to different networking groups. I met so many people from Instagram too, and going to various like luncheons, lunch and learns, and connecting with other people in your industry that can be so helpful to create new friends and to help lift you up. Not only lift you up, but then lift others up as well. You really are right where you're supposed to be. This one would really tick me off because people would say like, there's no such thing as the wrong choice. And I'm like, yes, there is. But that goes back to you know what the right or wrong choice is for you. And you are right where you're supposed to be. If you fall backwards or you repeat a pattern, you're seeing it with fresh eyes. And healing is not linear. My therapist told me that relapse is a part of recovery. Anytime I make a mistake and I'm a little bit hard on myself, I say, oh my gosh, no, I'm seeing it now. I have the opportunity to pause and make a different choice, and that has helped me grow so much as I've navigated life kind of in this new uncharted territory that I've been in for the past year. I think back to when I first started Boxwood, and I would do my toasting from afar every Friday, so I thought it would be fun to toast from afar, take it way back to the beginning, make a little cocktail. So let's go into the kitchen and I'll finish up sharing my 33 lessons of life. Really listen to your soul. This took me so long to understand, and this goes back to what I said earlier, that you know what's right for you. And also, the time is now. So wear your dress, use the linen napkins, break out the nice china, make your life beautiful with what you have. Don't save it for a special occasion. Another thing I've mentioned a couple times in this video is find someone that can hold a mirror to you. I heard this in a podcast, that you can know yourself really, really well. You still can't see the back of your head. If you can find somebody that you really trust, you value their wisdom, don't listen to everybody. Only listen to people whose life you'd really want. But if somebody can show a mirror to you, it's so valuable to be able to see things maybe you don't see within yourself, which is really helpful for me over the years. Another thing that when I reflect back on the best times of my 20s, it was when I was serving others. It was actually when I was coaching cheerleading and really helping other people. I think that serving others, however you may be able to, is one of the most fulfilling things you can do in your life. Taking the time to ask yourself, what do I really want? This can be something as simple as if you're thinking about what you want to eat for dinner. So often I think we think, oh, I need to eat this, or I need to do that, or I need to go to this place. Stop, take a breath, and really get quiet and ask yourself, what do I really want? This is going to help you make such more fulfilling decisions and live a more fulfilling life. Luxury isn't about spending more, it's really about choosing better. You can find something amazing at the thrift store or at the flea markets that has more meaning to you than the most expensive thing in the world. I really believe in choice, not compromise. That said, good shoes and a pretty dress are worth every penny. If you find something and you just feel so beautiful in it, you're going to have that energy about you. You're going to be more magnetic. Wear that dress, wear the heck out of it, and enjoy every second of it. Remember, there is no such thing as a wrong turn, just redirection. You can always pivot in life. I have had to pivot so many times. If I hadn't have pivoted, I'd still be selling egg stamps. Thinking about to what do you really want, I always wanted to go live in Paris or France. And I always thought, oh my gosh, am I ever gonna get the chance to live in France? And when I decided to make big changes in my life this past year, I decided, you know what, I'm moving to Paris. And one of my most favorite cocktails in Paris we are going to make together right now, that is called an Americano, not to be confused with an Americano coffee. This is an Americano cocktail, and it's just Campari and a vermouth, a little soda water, and an orange slice if you have it, but I don't have an orange slice. But I'd have this pretty much every single evening. It's a nice apéro drink sitting in the cafes in Paris. And actually my friend Sarah, whose kitchen I'm in right now, introduced me to this. And in Paris, they serve it on like a little silver dish with a spoon and a crystal glass, and it's just the details. Which leads me to my very last lesson that I've learned in my 33 years. You don't need more, you need meaningful. Santé, cheers, toasting from afar, bringing it back. I hope you enjoyed this video, a little bit different than I normally do. If you've been here since egg stamp days, pillow days, or even just within the last year, I am so grateful for you. I couldn't do what I do without you, so thank you for the support and the love. You can follow along, like, comment, subscribe, check us out on Instagram, and follow along for my next adventure because guess what? I am going back to Paris. Tastes like Paris.
Tastes like Paris.